But right now, well, we go from chord changes to food changes, I guess, because we have Mama Jean's Kitchen author here today, Jean Marotta. And of course, what else would that be but great Italian cooking, of course.
Yes, of course.
And you are an Italian cook. Of course, you learned from your mama, your grandma. Who did you learn from?
I didn't know how to cook until I got married, and I learned from my mother, my grandmother, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and I have honed it over the years to today when my grandchildren ask me to write down my recipes. And I did that.
Love that. Yeah. And she has a great story because I'd love to get this story out there because it's a story about you having to cook a meal for your future husband and your future father-in-law.
Yes.
And she walks in thinking that dinner's going to be ready. So take it away, Jean. What happened?
My husband invited me for dinner to his parents' house. When I walked in the door, the kitchen was dark. There was no one there, and I had never cooked.
And no smells.
And no smells, and I had never cooked even boiled water until this time. And my father-in-law and my husband just disappeared out of the kitchen, and I was left there. What to do? So I got on the phone and I called my mother. Mom, help. She guided me. She said, go to the pantry and see what's in there.
What's in the pantry?
Yep, so we did. And of course, there's always tomatoes and garlic, and there were anchovies.
Fortunately, it was the Italian home.
Yes, it was a great Italian pantry. So she told me what to do. I put, garlic in the pan and the tomatoes and the anchovies.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
She even had lettuce in the refrigerator, so I made a salad. And Tony and his father came out in the kitchen to these wonderful smells. And I won my father-in-law's heart and my husband's heart that night.
Now, what she didn't say was that the phone had a very short extension.
That's right. The phone was in the other room. It was in the dining room, and I had to talk to my mom, put the phone down, and go and do what she said, and then go back and say, now what? And put the phone down again, and she gave me the instructions, and it worked out wonderful. And
I think there's a theme here because we talked to Lisa, and had they not told her that she couldn't sing certain songs, she wouldn't have written.
Absolutely.
If somebody had not put you in that position, you may never have really felt that you
That's
could do it.
true, and I fell in love with cooking that night because the reaction I had from my husband and my father-in-law was such that I wanted more of that reaction.
You think they sealed the deal then?
They did. I did. I think I sealed the deal.
Your husband's in the audience. So
yes.
Is that true, Tony? He's putting his thumbs up. I guess that is true. And today you brought a few dishes with you, and we have some photographs from your. Actually, I took them off your website too. And you brought some meatballs, and so meatballs are kind of there's some dishes there that you probably made. Yummy, 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 yummy. Meatballs are kind of, if you buy them, Mama somebody's meatballs in the store, those are not meatballs.
No.
Those are hard little thingies, right? They're okay in a pinch, but there's nothing better than fixing your own meatballs and having them simmer on the stove. Do you bake them or do you cook?
No, I fry them in
you gotta
oil.
fry 'em.
And the trick of it is to fry them till they're very, very brown, until they're almost
My mouth is watering.
until they're almost burned, and that gives the wonderful flavor to your sauce. That makes the flavor in your sauce. And of course, there's parsley and garlic and breadcrumbs and cheese and
And you use just beef?
And
Or do
I
you
use
pork?
beef.
Do
I
you
just
do
use beef because I feel that the meatloaf mix it makes them softer.
Okay.
So I use just beef, but the frying them very brown, and then the old Italian way is to put the garlic in the oil that comes from the meatballs, and fry the tomato paste
I'm
in
just
there.
going to say you put the tomato paste in, right?
Right.
Because that's what we always did.
Yes.
Open up 2 cans of tomato paste, and you swirl it around in that wonderful
And the
drizzle.
aroma is unbelievable.
Oh, my God, it's wonderful. And it makes the best flavor because you've brought out that
All the
browning,
drippings.
or there's something. There's something in that flavor. If you don't have it, it's missing from the
From the
becomes
sauce.
a marinara.
You're absolutely right, and it's just wonderful. And I use other meats in my sauce as well, sometimes sausage. And my
I
family
love
likes hard
fennel, and you gotta
and
have
fennel,
with that sausage.
and yes, I do. I use the fennel sausage. But my family also likes hard-boiled eggs. That started years ago when my mother put hard-boiled eggs.
This is what I have to
Yeah.
learn. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just I hard-boil the eggs, and then I put them in the sauce and let them simmer with the meatballs. And they come.
They're whole eggs.
They're whole, right.
And they come out red on the outside, and when you slice them, they're yellow on the
Oh,
inside.
they're beautiful.
I gotta try that.
Try it.
I think they'll be
Yeah, well-
surprised. But speaking about hard-boiled eggs, because earlier in the show, Lisa, you're back there.
I'm here.
Lisa was telling us that she knows that it's an Italian.
Yes,
What's
it's
it
an
called?
Italian cookie. Well, if any kids are watching this show, they might giggle because it's called Poopy, but it's P-O-O-P-I, I believe, and I think it means papal or something Eastery. But it's the egg that the cookie is wrapped around. The like a biscotti is wrapped around it. Not the biscotti like a hard biscotti that you buy in the package in the store, but I mean like Italian cookie, that vanilla cookie.
Oh, okay.
That is wrapped around the egg that's raw, but you bake it, and the egg gets cooked in the oven. But my grandmother used to make them look like dolls, so we called them poopy dolls.
Oh.
And the thing that I'll never forget is scraping the cookie off the eggshell as a kid, where it's kind of like the Oreo, where you get the cream and you get that feeling on your teeth. And we used to do that with the cookie.
And then you crack the egg open.
Yeah, you just want to eat all the cookie off the egg, and then you eat the egg afterwards.
I'm trying to scrunch down so that we can pick her up on camera there. And then we talked earlier also about the Easter breads where you put the eggs in.
The hard-boiled eggs in the Easter bread, and the bread is braided, and the hard-boiled eggs are put in there and baked with the breads.
Now, they're hard-boiled when you put them in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's how we used to do it, not raw.
Right.
But you can put them in
Right.
raw, I guess. Why
I know,
not?
but they'd be a little bit harder to manipulate if they may break when you put the
you
bread
braid
around them
yeah,
and you
don't
braid
want
them.
that to happen.
No.
And I noticed you brought a cheesecake. Now, my mother
did.
made absolutely wonderful cheesecakes, and we were talking about the recipe earlier. When you make your cheesecake, what do you put in that cheesecake?
I put in ricotta and 2 packages of cream cheese, which is 1 pound. There's a pint of sour cream, a stick of butter, and
you put butter in it too.
melted butter.
Oh, okay, I don't remember my mom doing that.
And lemon juice.
Okay,
And
lemon.
I put a little almond in the crust. I have a little almond flavoring in the crust.
Oh, woman after my own heart. The almond,
We'll be cutting it in a little while.
Yeah, we're going to cut it, and everybody's going to take. Aren't you wish you were here to try this? We have our regular crew member who is not here, and he loves food. And oh well, you missed it, Malcolm. What can I say? So, what are some of your family favorites?
Well, my youngest granddaughter, loves my rosemary chicken. She's all grown up now, but when she was about 4 years old, she asked me one day to please make chicken on the bone. And I really didn't.
Chicken on the bone?
Chicken on the bone. Grammy, could you make chicken on the bone? And I really didn't know what she meant.
Don't they come with bones?
But she loved the drumstick, and she used to
she
eat
wanted
the
the
drumstick, so that's how she identified it, as chicken
drumstick.
on the bone. And it's my rosemary chicken that she absolutely loves, and that's one of our
Do you use
family
fresh rosemary, or
favorites.
do you use the dry?
Both. It depends on if I have the
Yeah.
fresh. I use the fresh. Otherwise, I use
That's
the
always
dry.
hard because in the winter, I wish I had a space to do an herb garden in
yes.
the house, but you really need because I've tried it with parsley. I cannot get parsley to grow in my house. No way. It comes looking beautiful. 3 days later, it's yellow.
Yeah.
And then it's like laying over on its side, and I'm watering it. I'm trying to do every.
But
you have a hint on that?
if you try, I don't grow herbs in the house, but I did try it once. But if you baby it along, it'll grow. But then you use it so quickly.
Yeah, then
it's
not-
not worth all the trouble.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I
Buy it in
and
the
I
store.
love the flat.
Flat leaf.
Don't use that curly stuff.
No, flat leaf
There's
parsley.
no flavor in that
No.
curly stuff.
Absolutely.
You use it for garnish. Some people do. I
Yeah,
don't.
no, the flat leaf has the best flavor.